Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to divide decimals. If you have not already done so, go check out the multiplying decimals and the integer video. It's going to be super helpful. So what we're going to do here is show you how to divide decimals. We're going to talk about some vocab words real quick before we start. You're going to need to know what a divisor and a dividend is. So what we're going to do is this right here is the dividend. And this right here is the divisor. So what happens here is the dividend is always inside the house and the divisor is always outside the house. So what we're going to talk about now that we've covered some of those vocab words, we got to figure out if this is going to be a positive or a negative answer. So again, talking about those integers, if you haven't already checked it out, go check out Mr. De La Garza's video. Otherwise, we have this triangle method where we have a negative, so I cross out one of the negatives, times a negative, so I cross out the other negative, and the final answer that's left will be positive because that's the only sign that's left over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that 1.35 inside the house because it is the dividend. And then I'm going to put this 15 outside the house because it is the divisor. Now, in this type of problem, it is completely okay to have decimals in the dividend. I can have decimals, no problem. It does not hurt my process at all. So, in order to keep track of that decimal, what we do is we bring the decimal up onto our division bar house. So you just bring it directly up, and it keeps track of it right there. So then you just treat it like a normal division problem. 15 cannot go into 1, so I do not put anything right there except a 0, so I'm going to put that 0 right there. 15 cannot go into 13, so I put a 0 right there. But it does go into 135 9 times. And so our final answer is 0.09. So notice whenever there's a decimal in the dividend, it is 100% okay. We just bring that decimal up. Now, sometimes you'll see problems like this, where it's written in the fraction form. Yet again, the first thing you ask yourself, is it going to be a positive or a negative? So again, using my triangle right here, I have two positives, so I will have a positive answer all the way. So what I teach the kids is top dog goes in the house. So 35 goes inside the house as the dividend, and 0.7 goes in the outside as the divisor. So if you notice here, we have a decimal on the outside. This is a big, big no-no. We never want to have a decimal on the outside. So what we do is, according to this second checkpoint, we have to move that decimal to the right, however many hops, to make it a whole number. So if I look here, all I have to do is move this decimal once, and it is now a whole number. Now, if we look in the inside, whatever we do to the outside divisor, we do the exact same thing to the inside dividend. But in the inside, there is no decimal. We know 35 is a whole number, so we know that the decimal is on the far right. So we take that decimal and we hop it once. So we have an empty hop space, so that creates a 0 right here. So now that we've accounted for all of our decimals, I bring that decimal up, and now I divide like normal. 7 goes into 35 5 times. Nothing is left over. So I look at this 0 that I bring down, and 7 goes into 0 0 times. So this answer is 50 as the final answer. Now to show you one last example, I'm going to show you what happens when there's a decimal inside the house as well as outside the house. So yet again, the first thing we ask is it going to be positive or negative? They're both positive, so my final answer will be positive. We have a decimal in the divisor, which is outside the house, which again is a big no-no. We don't ever want to do that. So I hop it once to make it a whole number. So now I do the exact same thing inside the house to the dividend. I take this decimal and I hop it once. So I bring the new decimal, which is between the 9 and the 6, up. And now I divide like normal. 8 goes into 12 one time. And then we bring the 4 down. 8 goes into 49 6 times. Sorry, I apologize. 6 times. minus 48. And then we bring down that last 6. 8 goes into 16 twice. Now, notice how I really kept track of where all of my numbers were. I put the 1 above the 12, because that's how many times 8 went in. I put the 6 above the 9, and then the 2 is above that 6. Keeping track of your decimal places is very important, because we don't want you doing all of this work and put the decimal in the wrong place. So your final answer should be 16.2. So hopefully that helps you with all the types of divisions with decimals that you will encounter.